Hi, Rick here. This is the trailer for the Photography Explained podcast. I hope that you're well. In this trailer, I will tell you what my podcast is all about and where you fit in, dear listener. Yes, you. This is the intro to every episode. I should remember this by now. Hi, and welcome to insert episode number here, of the Photography Explained podcast. I'm your host, Rick, and in each episode, I will try to explain one photographic thing to you in plain English in less than 27 minutes-ish without the irrelevant details. I'm a professionally qualified photographer based in England with a lifetime of photographic experience, which I share with you in my podcast. Make sense so far? Good, I hope so. So why the Photography Explained podcast? Well, why not, eh? Well, I started my podcast because I couldn't find where I explained things the way I wanted them explained. When I started the podcast, I aimed for episodes 10 minutes long maximum, and I did this for a couple of years before I changed the format, and episodes now they're about 20 to 30 minutes long. Well, they're as long or as short as they need to be to explain the thing that I want to explain. There's no set time, there's no padding things out to make them longer. No, I tell you what I want to tell you to explain what I am explaining. That could have been worded better, couldn't it? Now, I started my podcast in 2020 and I publish a new episode every 2 weeks. It was weekly, but now it's fortnightly, which is much better. My podcast has been downloaded more than 50,000 times in 127 countries. Blimey, 127 countries. That still blows me away. And these are the numbers in November 2023, by the way, when I wrote this trailer and recorded and published it. But who am I to tell you this stuff? It's a fair question, isn't it? Who am I to tell you? Well, let me tell you. I'm a professionally qualified photographer. I know, I've already told you that. I am an associate of the British Institute of Professional Photography. I work as a photographer and I do other work as well. And I am really proud to still be an associate of the British Institute of Photography, having the letters ABIPP. It's a real special thing to me. It means a lot to me. So my podcast, well, it's based on my experiences and my knowledge and not internet searches. Sure, there's some research into some of the stuff I talk about because, well, I don't know everything. But the starting point is what I know from over 40 years of practicing, studying, learning, and indeed loving photography. I do everything on the podcast. I write the scripts, record and edit the episodes, and I publish them on my podcast provider of choice, Buzzsprout. And I also do everything else that goes into keeping a podcast going. And as luck would have it, I love doing this. So, yeah, it's a labour of love, really. I really enjoy doing this. This is my thing. So, do you want to find out more about me and my podcast? Well, of course you do. I've got a website for the podcast, which you can find at, wait for it, photographyexplainedpodcast.com. where you can find out all about my podcast and find all the episodes to listen to or read if you want. See, you don't have to listen to my voice. No, you can read the stuff on the website. And while I'm talking about websites, I have another website, which is my business website, my photography business website, which you can find at rickmcavoyphotography.com. And yeah, I do everything on these websites as well. Amazing I've got time to take photos, isn't it? Oh yeah, before I forget, you can sign up to receive a weekly email. I'm going to leave that in. You can sign up to receive a weekly email from me where I give you my thoughts on something photography related. And they go out every Friday afternoon. Okay, so what is one photographic thing? Well, when I say I explain one photographic thing, that can be a photographic term such as what is aperture in photography? Or it can be something a bit broader like how my one photo rule will help you take better photos. Yes, my one photo rule will help you and me still does take better photos. Or it could be anything in between. So I cover a variety of things in a variety of ways. And I also tell you how this applies to you if you take photos with your phone, which is fine by the way, and also if you use a film camera, which is also fine. And I tell you what I do. So in every episode, I apply what I'm talking about to those three different things. And there's going to be a fourth one in 2024, along with some other new bits, which I'm excited to bring into the podcast. Right, enough about me. Let's talk about you, listener. How do you get your question answered? Well, If you've got a photography thing you'd like me to answer, send me a question and I will answer it in a future episode. Now, your questions can be, well, anything really. It can be really basic, really complicated, anything in between, or even really obscure. See, there's no such thing in my mind as a stupid question. But they do need to be photography-related questions, and they do need to allow me to maintain my clean rating, of course. Just head over to the photographyexplainedpodcast.com to find out how you can submit a question. Or just say hi. Love to hear from you, whatever it is you've got to say. Say hi, I'll say hi back, and thank you for taking the time and trouble to get in touch with me. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy my podcast. Any questions, get in touch. Take care, stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick.